It all began, or rather, it all started to unravel in what's now infamously known as Signalgate. So I want to examine the abrupt ousting of Mike Voltz, or Waltz, and his deputy Alex Wong from the National Security Council. Just 100 days into their tenure in Trump's cabinet, a departure cloaked in administrative chaos, shadowed by Signalgate and sharpened by palace intrigue. And the question at the heart of it, was this a national security correction or a scapegoating exercise to protect others, and chiefly, of course, the image of President Donald J. Trump? The J sort of gets in the way, doesn't it? I wish I could just simply follow Randy Rainbow and call him Donald Jessica Trump. But anyway, Voltz. This former Green Beret, an ex-congressman from Florida, mistakenly added Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, to an encrypted Signal group chat where sensitive plans for US airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen were being discussed. Goldberg, bemused and perhaps mortified, found himself reading real-time updates about US military operations before they happened. And the screenshots of the chat, replete with emojis and tactical timings, eventually made its way into the press. Initially, Trump resisted firing Waltz, reportedly not wanting to hand a trophy to the media, and in internal review even labelled the incident a mistake, not espionage, but make no mistake. Signalgate was the beginning of the end for Waltz. Waltz's troubles ran deeper than the one chat mishap. He'd already lost the room. His hawkish posture on Russia, Iran and Ukraine jarred with Trump's America First isolationism. His critics said he acted more like a Bush-era neocon than a loyal MAGA foot soldier. A senior official put it bluntly, the system wasn't running properly under Waltz. Relations with Trump's Chief of Staff, Suli Wiles, the so-called ice maiden of Florida politics, had soured. She stopped speaking to him. J.D. Vance, the vice president, the gerbil, reportedly advised Waltz to be more deferential, but by then the whisper campaign had begun. Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, and Laura Loomer formed an unholy trinity of pressure. Loomer even marched into the Oval Office herself with dossiers accusing Waltz's staff of disloyalty to the Trump agenda. Within days, 6 senior NSC staff were gone. And then came the final humiliation. Waltz was not invited aboard Air Force One. He tried to cling on by attending a cabinet meeting the day before he was let go, a move described as pleading in a suit. Well, the Democrats have framed the firing as a diversion. Chuck Schumer called it the wrong scalp and insisted the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, also involved in Signalgate, was the real liability. Others note that Hegseth, unlike Waltz, required Senate confirmation. Trump had expended political capital to defend him against allegations of unfitness, misogyny, and military incompetence. So, By contrast, the role of National Security Advisor requires no such confirmation. Waltz was, in effect, the politically expendable option, a useful fall guy. At present, Trump is toying with replacements. Steve Witkoff, the luxury property tycoon turned Ukraine peace envoy, is considered a favourite, despite having privately expressed no interest, quite apart from the fact that he has no skill. Marco Rubio may step in temporarily, though it's unclear whether he has the stomach for the job, let alone the capacity. And this mess leaves a void at the heart of American foreign policy. Just as nuclear talks with Iran stall, the war in Ukraine grinds on, and Trump continues to juggle loyalty tests and conspiracy mongering within his own ranks. It's a lot of juggling and ranking. So, was Mike Waltz sacked for incompetence, or was he sacrificed on the altar of Trump media image, loyalty tests, and right-wing court politics? In truth, perhaps both. Waltz had made a grave error, but in Trump's White House, competence alone wouldn't save you. Loyalty, flattery, ideological purity might, and he wasn't scalped just for what he did. He was scalped for who he wasn't. He wasn't a lapdog. He wasn't a poodle. And as Trump's second term trudges on with its blend of chaos and calculation and conspiracy, one thing becomes clear. No one's seat is safe. Not even if you're wearing stars on your shoulders and serving national security from the West Wing. You're not safe. Not in Trump's world.